From A, AC/DC. To A, even more AC/DC. To A, even more AC/DC. When you want letters that correspond with rock and roll, you get them right here at 108.9 The Hawk.
Okay. Yeah, Tharp. No, we can hear that, Tharp.
We're on the air.
We're
That's
on the
coming
air,
through.
Tharp. Okay,
Jesus.
Jesus. Rock and roll hoochie coo. Oh, no. Scotty,
Fucking
stop it.
hell.
Okay.
This is going great. This is going great.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 108.9 The Hawk Morning Show. That's what we're going to call it. We could call it Jason and Geoff in the morning. All that
J&G in the AM.
Yeah, that to be seen. Okay, Tharp.
Jesus Christ. I was ready to start babbling about how rock and roll hoochie coo seems like they're talking to a rock and roll baby and that they're talking baby speak to them, but I that was going to be a great...
Oh, God, that would have been a great little anecdote.
But now, gone. It's just gone. We don't even got it there. That's terrible. Thanks, Tharp.
Tharp, yes, it is work. Quit it.
Stop fiddling with the chords.
Make Tharp stop.
This guy, huh?
Okay.
God damn it.
So welcome to 108.9 The Hawk. It's 6:04.
In the AM.
In the AM. I'm Jason Gore here with, of course, my partner. I don't want to say crime because a crime has been committed.
Yeah, partner in life.
Partner in... Are we with life partner, I guess?
I guess that's the normal way that
we moved into your home. We are in the Tim Rice RV. Because
you take Jason to be someone sitting in your Tim Rice RV? Apparently is the answer.
I do.
Tharp. You cut off his I do. Now we don't even know, Tharp.
We don't know. Our engineer Tharp is in the background working on everything, guys, and we're trying to keep things as normal as possible, as straightforward as possible for you, the 108.9 The Hawk listener. Of course.
The problem with Tharp is he's just like every other goddamn engineer. He just won't stop
like every
fiddling.
Other.
Stop fiddling.
Stop fiddling.
Oh, yeah.
Start diddling, start fiddling, all right? Jesus.
Chris, we're going to bring you in a second, okay? So,
you just
hang
chill.
tight.
I know. We're thrown off.
Sorry.
We're thrown off.
Sorry.
We didn't even want to cancel any of our guests.
No. We've got a full slate. Skeet is sitting outside of the Tim Rice RV.
Yeah.
Skeet Ulrich, and he keeps knocking on that door.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Skeet.
Not your time yet, Skeet.
And he keeps yelling out, "Can you hear me knocking?" I was like, very good. That's a good impression.
Okay, that's funny. That works for classic rock.
It's a good
I hope we do hear it again. It is very funny. It is very funny.
He does it. I say that I get annoyed, but I think I'm just annoyed at Tharp is what I
Yeah.
Honestly, if I can be honest here.
Could you be honest?
Is this time for a Geoff the Angry Man Garlock segment? Could I be honest?
I mean, I think it could.
I'm not having any faith I'm going to get a bumper for Could I Be Honest here.
I'm looking for it,
with the way Tharp's working.
Let's see. Is it this, Tharp? Is it this button? Okay, here we go. Here's your tag.
Yeah, can I be honest here with Geoff the Angry Man Garlock?
I'll try it again. No. This has to be it. This has to be it.
Okay, yeah. Can I be honest here with Geoff the Angry Man Garlock? That's a terrible bumper. And
there we go. Thank God, Tharp.
All that leading up to, I think there's too many people in my goddamn RV. I don't want all these people in here. This is my inner sanctum. This is my place of rest, my place of being, my place of living. And I did not want to bring my work into my pleasure. That's all. That's all I was trying to say. And we took all that time to get that goddamn...
You got there.
I was even... maybe we should have had that original bumper that you had there, the blorp. Nope, that is not the one. Stop fiddling with the cable. Jesus.
6:05.
6:05. 1 minute has passed.
108.9 The Hawk. So let's catch everybody up really quickly.
Beep, back up. Give us a summary.
Beep,
Jesus Christ.
Beep, trucks coming in. Carrots are coming off. Because if you got a truck in Valverde, it's hauling carrots.
Oh, we got a carrot-a-thon coming end of the month, and I can't wait.
Also, of course, Hauling Carrots, the new reality show on Channel 8 that everybody is talking about. I watched it last night. Very excited to see everything happening in Hauling Carrots. Did you watch it? Did you get a chance to watch it there, Geoff?
I mean, I tried to watch it until all of a sudden Tharp showed up dragging equipment
he's
in.
like, hey man, I gotta hook up the radio station because our building blew up.
And I was ready. Hauling Carrots was getting. I mean, by the way, that's a wonderful impression of him.
Of Tharp?
He sounds of Tharp. That is a dead.
He doesn't like it when we do that because when sometimes.
Oh man!
See, he cut the mics and just played that.
Now the thing is that I was ready there. I had a big old bowl of baby carrots to watch Hauling Carrots.
Yeah,
you
can't watch Hauling Carrots and not eat carrots, right?
No. And you can't not be listening to Deep Purple in the background because, as we all know, Hauling Carrots does have a celebrity contestant on there, and is of course Ian Gillian. Because he was like, "Can you use space trucking? We're talking about trucks. Get some Deep Purple," and they said no. Yeah. John Lord's estate said no, thank you.
Carrots.
That was the original version, but now we don't.
Version, but
now it's an Adele song, I think, and it's just about hauling carrots. Super sad.
Look into my eyes, I'm hauling carrots.
And a tear falls down Ian Gillian's face.
Every time. And mine.
Every time.
And mine. Also, a lot of tears last night because we're kind of burying the lead. 108.9 The Hawk, the studio, the station that you know and love is completely gone.
Well, let's not say completely.
Okay, no, yeah, I mean, the ass exists.
You gotta look, I know this is crazy from Geoff the Anger Man Garlock, but you gotta look on the bright side of the ass. And the bright side of the ass is, yes, what still exists?
A great Pink Floyd bootleg that I have.
Oh, my God.
A bright side of the ass.
Nebworth in 2013.
Oh, God.
The prime Pink Floyd. That's when you want to see them.
That's when you wanted to see
Right when you want to see them.
2013.
Roger Waters shows up, just not even playing with them. He's just in the crowd, just
yelling out. He's just yelling out hateful things. Just slur
mean.
after slur
and
after
not even
slur.
towards Pink Floyd, just at the world.
God, Geoff, no, let's focus more on...
Sorry, we got to get back to what is left.
I'm in your kitchen booth here. In your RV. I'm just stuffed into it. I'm so uncomfortable.
All of the 108.9 The Hawk studio is gone except for the memorial ass of meatloaf. That lasted, and the 31 flavors that's in there. You can still get some ice cream, but you walk right through that ass. There's nothing there because we got droned.
We got droned by
got droned.
Yes. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say out loud.
We got droned. That is very hard to say. We got droned.
We got droned by a man that we thought was our best friend. That we thought was our...
compatriot in classic rock.
Yes. You know, like... I mean, if I'm the Robert Plant, obviously, of this group... And, you know...
Because your voice is beautiful and never frustrating.
Thank you. Never frustrating at all. Wait, was that a hit? What, is it frustrating?
It depends on your version of what you feel about Robert Plant.
Okay.
I put it on you to
You really put that on me.
If that is a burn or if that is a praise. Tharp thinks it's a burn.
I think that was... Tharp is just basically answering in sounds here, so... When he could just come up to the mic and be like, "Hey, you boys, you gotta reboot the computer."
I mean, is he here again?
Reboot. He's rebooted everything in here. He rebooted your gray water machine.
My God, and that thing is not
nothing
working
to do with
anymore.
These mics.
No, and it keeps
it's just
bubbling it
spraying
up
gray water out of
the toilet.
Oh, by the way,
yes.
Be very careful about cursing. We have no delay.
Oh fuck,
that's gone.
God damn it.
No,
fuck.
see,
God.
It's so fucking shit. Scotty's in the bathroom. We can't even see him.
My God,
but that's where he's set up. So if you got to,
take a dump in there, Scotty.
I know, he's just in there. I think that means he's shaking his head no. You could hear it
every time he knocks. He shakes his head no.
Yeah. Also, you do hear this every now and then too. Can't you hear me knocking?
Oh, Skeet's at it again.
Skeet, you funny son of a bitch.
Hold on, we gotta beep it, back it up, and get those carrots out of the truck again. You're our Robert Plant.
Take the carrots off. Okay, yes, I'm the Robert Plant. Clearly. Good
or bad, you are.
You know. Now in Zen, I'm Robert Plant, right?
No quarter here.
No quarter here. But so you would probably be the John Bonham because you're furious.
I am furious. I also had a drinking problem.
You did have a drinking problem.
Did not choke on my own vomit, but close many times.
Looking around your RV, there are some other problems as well that I think we'll get to.
Let's not get into them, but I know we'll get into them.
Yeah, and then, Whisp was obviously our Jimmy Page because he's best friends with Jimmy Page. And he's not now because he destroyed everything we know and love. And for the next little bit until, I talked to Boss Ron this morning. I said, hey, is there any way you can move us into the Poseidon Radio building? And
that'd be nice.
He said, we'll look into it.
Oh, that's a shove off.
That's
right
a clear
there.
Yes, right?
That's a corporate shove off right there.
So
that's a CSO, if I've ever heard one.
Well, either way, we're still doing the god darn show.
Gosh darn show is happening.
We're still doing it the way we do it. Technology be damned.
It clearly is what Tharp is saying. Technology be damned.
Here's the thing. We weren't going to cancel any guests. We were not going to cancel any guests. That's why we've got Skeet out front. Skeet's going to be on in the 7 o'clock hour, God willing.
All right, Skeet.
Still funny.
Oh.
You know that he is, why he's here this morning, he is talking about his brand new Rolling Stones tribute band, A Little TNA. And they're going to be playing at Zazzers this weekend. I can't wait. I hope that song's on the set list.
I mean, it better be.
It better be.
No, literally, it better be.
No, Skeet, it fucking... Sorry, Scotty.
Fargan better be.
But you know what?
You got to pull a Johnny Dangerously here, man.
I know.
You Fargan ice hole. You better get it right.
We have fun, even if we don't have a radio station anymore and it's smoldering over there.
Less fun.
We didn't want to cancel any of our guests because, God, gosh darn. We're still a classic rock station. We're still Val Verde's home for classic rock. And when you're talking classic rock, you want to talk to one of the greats. Of course, there are so many 3-name producers in all of rock and roll. You've got your Tom Lord Alge. You got your Jack Joseph Pig. You got your Roy Thomas Baker. You got your Bobby Mutt Lang.
Oh, the Mutster.
The Mutster himself, but none of those mean...
Mutster cheese is what I call it.
Did you try it? Have you been to Food Gulch to try Mutt Lang's Mutster cheese?
It's very compressed.
Very compressed.
They really shove that
this
cheese.
Thin.
It is like
this thin.
Dark matter, almost.
Yeah, but it is rich. It's the richest Mutster I have ever had in my life. Maybe this man's got some cheese in his future. I don't know. The famous Chris Duke-Angeli. Is it Angeli or Angeli?
It's Angeli.
Angeli.
Yeah. Not one or the other. It's the third one.
Don't want to piss off
People usually read it. They don't get to hear people say it.
Oh,
they read their liner notes.
Yes.
They read the liner notes.
Yes.
If it's a record where I actually want it to be credited, they just see it in the liner notes, and then that they don't know. It's kind of like
they're probably getting your name wrong on TikTok all the time because these kids out there are just always reading liner notes.
I'm sure they're talking about me on TikTok. Like they gotta be.
Oh, they gotta be.
Tharp. They talk about everything on TikTok.
We're talking TikTok here, Tharp.
Yeah.
Please.
Talking TikTok with Chris Duke-Angeli, Tharp.
Jesus.
Speaking of Chris Duke, can I call you Chris Duke? Do I call you CD or CDA? What's it go? What do you go by these days?
It's usually just Chris, but you could do Chris Duke.
Could I call you the Duke?
You could call me the Duke.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay, Duke. Well, Duke, you've done so many damn records, and I'm just going to list off some real good ones here.
Sure.
Only list off the real good ones. We'll get to the real bad ones later.
The really good ones. Def Leppard Slang.
Ooh. Yes. Oh, man.
Geoff, you got one. What's your favorite album from the Duke?
Saigon Kick. Talking Turkey.
Yeah.
Talking Turkey.
That one came right after their hit album.
Yes, it was so
The Lizard.
good.
Is that what their hit album was called? The Lizard?
The Lizard, but Talking Turkey.
Talking Turkey
so
was
much better
They
than
kept on the animal
Lizard.
theme.
Yeah.
That one record that you did with Ugly Kid Joe, Duke.
Oh man.
Ugly all the time.
Ugly all the time. And that
was-
one record you did with Ugly Kid Joe. They were
Yes.
fantastic.
The cow.
I got a little.
Yeah.
I was a little
themed one.
confused on that one.
Me too.
You thought you were signing up for an Ugly.
I
Yeah.
pretty much thought it was going to be them again. But it was a little bit embarrassing. But you know what? You do the job. You're hired to do the job, and you just got to do the
are
job.
right.
Whatever
That-
it takes.
Yes,
If
and
it
that's why we're here.
If it means like, you know, I usually say if it takes 50 takes, it takes 50 takes. And actually,
Yeah.
in my opinion, it always takes 50, which has been a bit of an issue over the years. But
You are known for your massive amount of takes.
I got to
Yeah.
be meticulous. I
You
got
gotta
to be meticulous.
You
Where-
gotta
how-
be meticulous.
How meticulous were you? You recorded what is going to be known as the final Paul Simon record. He said he's done after this one because he said that, you know, working with Chris Duke-Angeli,
Was exhausting.
and
Well,
it's
yeah.
called Slip Sliding Away Forever.
I didn't really know about the whole final album thing until marketing. That didn't come up a whole lot during production.
If it had, what would that have changed things? Would you have said maybe we're not doing 70 takes on, you know, me and Julio down by the schoolyard again
Part
for a
two.
PTA meeting?
You know, I don't think so, man. I think it just whatever it takes is whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes is
whatever it
whatever it
takes
takes.
is whatever it
Yes.
have I been alienated from some of the artists I've worked with because of that? Not everyone takes to that, you know. My thing is like all the
I
best stuff.
apologize for this. I do apologize. Like,
yeah,
we are
okay,
literally trying to get things to work.
I did. I was a little confused.
Yeah.
A couple things, if you don't mind. I kind of just need to know.
Well, you're a legendary engineer. Do you have any tips for
Give
us?
your engineering
I was actually I guess I was a little confused about why the address changed a couple days ago.
no,
and now I
that's
get it.
not
It's something
on
about
us.
drones. So like, I'm
Yeah.
just curious, like,
Yeah.
how big was the PA that destroyed the studio? And was it like Frippertronics, or was it just like, you know, Lamont Young type cello drones, or was it
You're
maybe
confused
Sun?
on what
That band, is it a
type of
band called Sun? But and then they got like a circle,
Yeah,
and some
no, I know.
parentheses, kind of like
Yeah.
those amps. But I don't know if
Yeah.
you say Sun O, a parenthesis, or if you just say Sun O or Sun. But anyway, I know they are loud and they have drone. They're a drone thing. It must have been really, really loud to destroy a building.
You know, actually, it wasn't really loud. It was really quiet and really tiny. These are drones that fly, not
Like
the
military
nacho-style
drones with missiles and
No,
lasers.
Earth-style drones.
yeah.
I gotta be honest with you guys. Ever since like, you know, Pro Tools like took over, I've just kind of, I haven't kept up with all the technology. I'm still pretty much, I like to be an analog guy. I mean, you know, I tend to have assistants who run Pro Tools, and I'm just dialing it in with the console, whatever. And like some of the newer tech outside of music, I really don't understand. So
That can be really hard.
I didn't know about these.
Yeah.
That's like, sounds kind of cool.
I mean,
it
it
sounds
was
a little scary. It sounds a
Yeah.
little scary though.
I'm going to say both of those, Duke, are pretty spot on. It was cool to see over 400 drones line up in formation.
You can't deny that. That's not cool. That's just cool.
I mean, that does sound cool.
I'm like, is Kevin Feige here? Literally,
but
is
like-
what I was asking.
I'm guessing all those mic pre's got destroyed.
Everything
and the
got
mics?
destroyed, Duke.
Yeah,
Everything.
well, that's why I'm glad I got my case here, because I
huge,
I had
by the
a
way.
feeling that
You know, I did.
who knows what's happening with the address change. I was like, maybe I should bring my mics, which you might have noticed that I did give Park, was it your engineer, his name was Park?
Tharp.
Yeah.
Tharp.
Oh man. Okay.
Park
okay.
works
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like literally call this asshole whatever you want to call
Duke, you
him.
are a confused engineer. I can't lie.
I really don't like it. That was like my pet peeve, was when people would forget my name, and it makes sense because it's like I have 3 of them. So which one?
No, you do have 3. Yeah.
But it's a pet peeve of mine. So I'm sorry, Tharp. But
No,
anyway,
it's okay.
I did give Tharp my Avalon channel, because I kind of thought maybe that's not going to be up to my standards.
Right.
And I also, I don't know if you guys see, but I have my own mic as well. I went straight for the U47. Straight for the
Of course you
U47.
did. Yeah,
Because it's
and
the
that's what you
go-to.
sound
It's
so
the go-to. And it's maybe a little weird for an interview. But it's,
Sure.
I mean, it's the best. Why do anything less, you know?
Why do anything less? You know, Paul Simon, in an interview about his last record, did say that you talked more than you made him do sessions.
I did really want to just lay out the plan and the vision, you know? I mean...
Which is a lot of talking.
and
if
he
you
said
were making
this is
him
why-
do up to
yeah,
70 takes.
He kind of had the opinion that maybe he should be the one laying out the vision, but I was like, that's a team
Well, it's
effort,
Paul Simon.
Well, you got to give Paul the respect he deserves.
You gotta. You're going to be
Someone
the first
has
one to
to.
say.
It's either
Someone has
you
got
or
to
Art
finally give
Garfunkel, right?
Paul
Right?
Simon. But that's the thing. He didn't go in knowing that you are like the antithesis of the Rubes, and that's what I call Rick Rubin, of course.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going in there just to kind of rube it up.
I'm in there. I'm not
guru
showing
it,
up
and
twice
just-
a week. I'm not showing up twice a week
Exactly.
and listening to rough mixes and then saying do it again.
And
I'm
you're
there the
wearing
whole
shoes.
time saying do it again. I'm
you
saying
have
every
3
take
pairs of
saying do
shoes
it
on,
again.
don't you
50
worry.
times in a row. 50 times in a row.
And you'll
Almost
explain
always.
every single mic that's being used. And
You
really
know what?
just lay out every compressor.
You know,
Yeah.
well, here's a good, perfect example. Like the one exception turned out to be a disaster. So here's
Which
the deal.
was?
I'll give you guys a little bit of background. on
Ooh.
it.
Yeah, we do have to
I
get to
started
traffic,
out-
though. 'cause
I
Art
started
is
engineering back in the
kitchen.
70s. Back in the 70s was when I started. And the reason,
course.
there was one reason. I was a kid in the 60s. And like a lot of people in the 60s, my life was changed when this one band out of England just came out of nowhere and they absolutely changed the world and they changed music forever. And of
Gees.
course, I'm talking about King Crimson. Oh, I was going to say, no,
I'm
thank
they're
goodness.
basically
King
the same
Crimson.
band, right?
I would say
Come
the
on.
most important band in the history of music.
I was about to flip out because if you didn't see that gigantic box you brought in, which is taking up most of the space in my Tim
Most
Rice
of the
RV,
space,
Yeah,
like-
is also sitting on top of all of my dead stock children's books
Yeah.
that I have written.
Yeah,
You
it
should
takes
not
up-
like the Beatles, and here is me explaining why exactly you should not like the Beatles.
So many.
Yeah.
Copies
Yeah,
still
they're-
ready to be sold.
They were okay.
best.
I kind of feel like
At
Crimson
best.
really, where it's like, you know, it was like Crimson, maybe some other bands in there. Beatles might make the top 10 if I'm feeling
And the
charitable.
Grammy for They Were Okay goes to the Beatles.
Oh, yeah.
Clap, clap,
Every
clap.
time.
Everybody walks up.
Look, there's no bigger life changer than the first time you hear 21st Century Schizoid Man.
Yeah.
And then you also realize there's the rest of the record that you have to kind of get through. That's maybe not as
yeah.
good as that first song.
Traffic.
Oh my God, Art.
I have to do traffic.
Okay.
Art has
Mr.
really
Duke,
been
the Duke.
Duke, I apologize for
Genesis
this. Art
Duke.
has taken this
We
whole
got to
thing
put a pause
That's
here.
okay. It's radio,
harder.
baby. It's radio.
a lot harder.
Oh, look at this.
than-
He understands. It's radio.
I get it. It's a
I like
different
that.
format. You got to adjust sometimes.
Oh, the button.
All right, Art.
Okay,
We're
Jesus,
doing it.
Art.
108.9 The Hawk Traffic with Art Spart.
From the Burt's Funeral Flowers Traffic Desk, Art Spart, 108.9 The Hawk Traffic. Well, listen up, faithful listeners. I know you're coming to old Art Spart for your traffic news. And, well, frankly, I got nothing for you. Oh, that doesn't mean there isn't traffic out there with the annual Meatloaf Memorial Meatloaf Eating Contest and the Corn Shuckarama Craft Fair happening on Hog Street at the same time. I am sure everything is backed up, but I just haven't taken a look. Because confession time, Art Spart, confession time. Good old Art finally got his copy of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And let me tell you, I am furious. I'm only like an hour in, and I'm stuck to high hell. Lick has got no clothes. I'm stuck on some ice mountain, and I'm running out of spicy peppers to keep me warm. I can't figure out how to go back, and I can't figure out how to climb an ice mountain, and now they want me to make weapons. It wasn't bad enough in the last one we had to cook food nonstop, but now I can't escape Minecraft and have to make some dumb boat with some dumb wood. And I can't get the dumb hooks to rotate the right way, so I can just watch some dumb platform I made slide away before I can even get on it. What is this game? I play games to have fun, not to want to murder someone. Speaking of which, have you checked out Art's Twitch channel? It's at twitch.com/what is this game? And it is just me ranting and raving about games while I play them poorly. And I may not be doing a great job at the game, but my Twitch stream is poppin', as the kids say, I think. Apparently, the world loves watching a middle-aged traffic reporter rant and rave about not understanding what they are doing in these newfangled video games. So, if I am not reporting the traffic to you one day, rest assured, it's that I have somehow monetized this Twitch stream, which seems dumb. But as the fabulous T-Birds used to say, wrap it up. I'll take it. And I guess maybe don't go down Hog Street. Yeah, that's a good one. That's always usually pretty clear in Valverde. Yep, and this has been Art Spart with traffic from the Bert's Funeral Flowers Traffic Desk on 108.9 The Hawk.
With Bert's Funeral Flowers, with Bert's Funeral Flowers.
Okay, well,
Guy cuts
Art
in just to yell about video games. So angry at
literally
us.
had nothing to do with anything.
No.
But I tell you one thing, it's still standing. Smoldering embers all around it. You're never gonna get rid of Meatloaf's ass. On 108.9 The Hawk.
Hey, it's me, Snow Cone Man. Just want to let you know I'm gonna be parked down by Halford Park all weekend long for every single T-ball game. And I'm gonna have all my snow cone flavors. Cherry, grape, vanilla, dark cherry. So come on up to the truck, little kids, and ask the Snow Cone Man if he's got a flavor for you. Don't be afraid. Don't. Just come on up to the Snow Cone truck, and I promise I'll be good. I promise. It won't be like last time. So I'll see you at Alfred Park all weekend long.
Grandparents, great-grandparents, parents. Yep, that's pretty much our demographic. 108.9 The Hawk.
A turd as sweet as this, FARNS worth. Adults like white chocolate, FARNS worth. Regional candy that only adults like. Farnsworth white chocolate turd, FARNS worth. We admit that it kind of looks like dried animal turd.
And thank you, adults of Valverde, for supporting Farnsworth Confectionery and our newest adult candy, the white chocolate turd. Look, we're well aware it looks like when you see an animal turd, it's all dried up by the sun, but that's what makes it a Farnsworth special. A unique taste and a unique look only Valverdeans get.
FARNS worth. Regional candy and white chocolate are the worst.
Oh, the best dude in the world. I don't care what anyone says. Eric Clapton is God. And he's good. Oh, he's always so good to me. I don't
tell you,
like
when
his
you
old
get
stuff.
slow
I like
hand-
his new blues albums, personally. And, of course, the Duke did produce 2 of those.
Yeah, that was a struggle. Those were a struggle.
Sure, because you didn't have Dwayne Allman's
He didn't want
slide
to do
guitar
time
in there.
changes. He didn't want to do any complicated time signatures.
Just
12-bar blues.
Straight 4/4.
Yeah,
12-bar
that's
blues, 4/4.
You know, if you're gonna keep up with the standards of that Crimson set,
Yeah.
you got to have some time signature changes in there. And he just didn't want to do it. You know, he's like, I'm a blues guy. We play in 4. Like, sometimes I do it, but I don't always do it. And I was like,
Did you try to get him to tune into the new standard tuning that Fripp made up?
Oh, yeah. That's a little bit much to ask sometimes with people. You got to have some boundaries.
Understandable. When Fripp is telling you about that standard, he's just like, this is what you do. Deal with it.
Yeah, because, the listener, they hear a 5/4, 7/8, they hear Mellotron.
Oh, and they know that's what it is.
But they don't. Oh, they better. I mean, if they're a simpleton, they don't know what a Mellotron is.
All classic rock listeners are immediately going 5/4, 5/7/8.
They go 5/4, 7/8,
Mellotron.
And Mellotron. He didn't want to do any of that stuff. And he's like, I'm Eric Clapton. Who are you? And I said, well, I'm Chris Duke-Angeli, and I've made lots of records. Has my name been removed from the credits on several? Yeah, sure.
Yes.
But what?
Yes.
That happens sometimes.
Not to bring up a sore spot. Yeah. What has been? What albums has your name been removed from?
Yeah, that's a great question.
First Ramones record.
Really?
First Ramones record. And that was I insisted on it. So I'll tell you, I'll give you the story here. All right.
Okay.
Please.
I got
a short one.
First Ramones, they show up and I immediately, I don't really know what to make of them. And I'm like, oh man, these guys, I'm not hearing any of the stuff we need to hear. This is actually the one, I regret this, but every time they would run a track, we'd get a couple takes and I'd be like, guys, listen, it's just not working. Everything's 4. You need to put an extra beat in every measure. And you just need to make every measure 5/4. And that way it'll be up
Ramones
there.
would have been
it'll
amazing.
be up there with the Crimson stuff.
Right.
And then I knew the Mellotron wasn't working. The Mellotron broke a lot. That was something that me and the labels would get into arguments about because they'd say, why are you using the Mellotron when it costs so much to fix?
You were trying to put the Mellotron on everything, basically.
Well, it pretty much has to be there. Unless you're getting like the saxophone.
Yeah, like it's either Mellotron or David Sanborn saxophone.
That's it. You got two choices when you got the Duke in town.
Yeah, it's got to be something like that. But I didn't even get to the Mellotron because I knew it was broken. So the Mellotron's broken. These guys aren't playing in 5. I'm like, you know what? Let's try the next one. And I did that for basically every song on the album. We got like a few takes and I was like, you know what, guys? You guys are going to have to go back. No use staying here. No use wasting the label's money.
Right.
Now, were you using strings or flute Mellotron setting for Blitzkrieg
That
Bop?
was the thing. It was broken, so we didn't even get to that. So we only did a few takes of every song. And I was like, guys, you just need to come back when you're ready to put it in 5. And then we'll think Mellotron. Then we'll figure that out.
Every time I listen to Beat on the Brat, I always think if this was in 5/4 and if there was a Dave Sanborn sax just squealing in the middle of it.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Be a dream.
Then, they go home. I don't hear for a couple of days, and I'm a busy guy. I'm moving on to the next thing.
Right.
You're starting a new record. You're talking up the new record, explaining what type of mic set you're going to use on that new record.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in a meeting with the next. I can't even remember who the next artist was. There's so many. But then the label calls me and they say, "Hey, listen, we're good on this Ramones." And I said, "What do you mean?" And they said, "No, we're good. We got it. Great job." And I said, no, it's not done, man. It's not done. None of those takes are usable.
Right.
And they're like, well, no, they actually sound pretty good. Like, you're a great engineer, which is true. And we just need you to come in and mix it because it sounds great to us. We already got Joey to lay down the vote. Like, we already got, it's like, oh, come on, man. No, you
like
can't
some
use
of those
that.
tracks, I imagine were not even going to have vocals. It was just going to have
I was going to
David
remove
Sanborn
vocals.
sax.
They got some other guy to do the vocals, and I was like, you know what?
Vocals.
Well, I would have done the vocals once they put it in 5/4.
You were gonna Bob Rocket. You're gonna Bob Rocket on the vocals. You gotta Bob Rocket on the vocals.
I mean, Joey did a scratch track, and I think they liked that, but
they just kept
somebody
the scratch.
Somebody
Is
was
that
like,
what the vocals are on the first Ramones? It's just Joey's scratch track.
They're scratch vocals.
Wow.
So I was like, you know what, guys, listen, this is crap. I don't want to be associated with this record, and you got to take my name off the credits, which is why when you look at the credits, the first Ramones album,
you look at
I'm
it, you're
not on
there.
there. And I don't care. You know what? If I don't want to be associated with that record and somebody else wants to take credit for my work, whatever, man.
It's
Somebody had to
wild
have
that the
done it.
Ramones were like, we can't deal with Duke. Let's get Phil Spector in here, someone who's a lot more chill.
Yeah, I mean, I never shot anyone.
You're crazier than Phil Spector, is what I'm hearing.
Well, I'm more meticulous.
Yeah,
he's a pretty loose producer, is what I've always heard about Phil Spector. He's pretty lax.
I mean, compared to me, yeah, for sure.
Guys, we're broadcasting from the Rock and Roll RV, owned by the one and only Geoff Garlock.
I'm sorry, are we calling it the Rock and Roll RV
Rock
now?
and Roll
Ugh,
RV out
sucks.
on the side of it right now. Skeet's helping with it, so he's doing the.
What did I say? Don't spray paint on my RV.
But we do have some station business. We're going to talk.
Jesus, this guy.
That's great, Skeet.
Man.
We're talking to the great Chris Duke-Angeli. We're going to talk more rock albums with him, but we do have a little business to get to here really quickly. Of course, we may not have a station anymore. It may have been razed to the ground by our own Whisp Turlington, but my God, it is still an all-rock, total hawk summer. And that continues on tonight at the Valverde County Fair at Stage 8 at the fair tonight. You've got Buckcherry. You've got Stained. You've got Gas Humper. And
Gas Huffer is also playing on the second stage at the same time as Gas Humper.
But they're not as good as Gas Humper.
Not as good as Gas Humper, because Gas Humper is actually a country cover band of Gas Huffer, who are a rockabilly band.
Yes. And then I tell you what I'm going. This is basically the headliner for me, Geoff. I'm excited for this. Stained back A tribute to Stevie Nicks and Stained.
Wow.
There's so many times I'm listening to Stevie's music, and Chris, I know you worked with Stevie. That's why you're nodding. You know, there's so many times I'm listening to Stevie, and I'm just like, that guy from Stain's voice would do better here.
Not enough angst, Stevie.
Not enough angst. Not enough angst.
Middle-aged man angst that is going to convert into weird politics.
Yeah. So that's going on. Also, Greg, Lemon Sour, and Big Truck are currently down on Hog Street at the grand opening of the Rock Dreams Dad Camp. Maybe we can check in with them.
They're not dead.
They're not dead. They made it out.
I'm not going to lie. Up until right now, I was worried they died in that drone attack.
Oh, my God.
I've been upset this whole time. You're trampling all over all of my collections in my
three
RV
deaths.
My God.
3 deaths, Geoff.
Number one,
we lost Glenn Allen Mixon.
Oh, well. What are you gonna
Our guest, one of the greatest music supervisors of all time. Ska wouldn't be in movies without him. Maybe we'll do a little tribute to Glenn Allen Mixon.
Rest in skank
later.
is what I say to him.
Rest in skank, Glenn Allen Mixon. And Jenny and Jimmy, former producers of the 108.9 The Hawk Morning Show and the Whisp Turlington Show.
They were doing a shite job with publicity anyways.
They were doing such a terrible job.
And I think we can say shite
and with
if
sales.
it's with the FCC right there.
Can we do that, Scotty? Okay, that sounds like a yes to me. Yeah, Jenny and Jimmy, R.I.P.
Rest in publicity.
Rest in publicity that you were not doing.
Not doing, so, you know.
The station. So,
maybe don't rest in publicity that much, I guess is what we're saying.
But that's it. Everyone else made it out.
Okay, well, I guess I'm glad that Greg and Chuck are alive because I love those guys.
Yeah, so head on down to the Rock Dreams Dad Camp, and maybe we'll hear from them coming up very, very soon. Oh, my God. So much going on. 6:08 on 108.9 The Hawk.
Excuse me, baking powder. What is going on with time in here?
You know what? With timing, man, I got to say something. Yesterday was very traumatic.
Oh, wait, hold on. Is this your segment? I got to say something?
Oh, yeah, maybe this is...
Tharp. Throw on the bump.
Go ahead and hit it, Tharp.
No, you got to connect the...
God.
My God, Duke. Can you help out Tharp here?
Yeah, Tharp. Actually, Tharp, while you're doing that, could you mute my channel real quick? Guys, I don't know. I'm not feeling this U47. I think I got to go. I think I got to switch it out real fast.
You're going to switch out your microphone.
Tharp, mute the channel. I got to switch it. It's not up. It's not working. It's not working.
Mute it.
So, Tharp, real quick. Here, let me grab it out of my case.
Okay.
While he's switching, do your bit, I guess. Jeff. I know. What is this guy will not stop talking about equipment. I don't mind the King Crimson talk. I'll take that.
I read this in...
Okay, all right. The 67's better. The 67's better.
It sounds so much better.
It's working for me.
It's working for me now.
So much.
You know what I always say?
Thor.
Whenever an engineer says, which microphone do you like better, this one or this one, I always appreciate that question because I can always tell.
Yeah, it's very clear what it is. It's very clear.
Yeah. It definitely doesn't sound exactly the same. I love it.
No,
I love it. Great
not
choice.
I love how you can really tell a difference between like a real just like shitty mic that you get off of, you know, like a wish.com or like those websites are like free microphone if you give us your email address, and you get it, and then you put that right up against like a Neumann or something, and you're like, ooh, these sound the same.
Basically the same.
I mean,
crazy.
That's all Pink Floyd used with Alan Parsons.
Sometimes you really need to have the really, really finely tuned ears to pick up the subtle differences. Maybe it's all it might all be mental at a certain point.
Yeah,
we're going through all this gear. We're going through this RV gear anyway. So, you know, if you guys had some Neves, you know, we'd really be hearing those different.
We did.
If only you did. When your team first reached out, I actually asked if you guys had those because I usually only
guest
track
we've
through
ever
a Neve
had
console.
that has asked for a full equipment list.
Yeah,
before they showed up
for stage plot. I'm like, what? You're going to be in chair number 2.
Before they showed up for, by the way, you were booked for 5 minutes on our morning show, and I guess how time is going.
And today too.
We're only in minute 2.
Well,
but,
I mean, we got a lot, but there's a lot we need to talk about, guys.
There is one question I have to ask you about.
Yes.
You did probably my favorite album to come out in 1999.
Good year for music.
Great year for music.
Best year for music.
It was called Pink Floyd, The Remixes. Oh,
yeah.
And basically, David Gilmour said, Duke, I do a really good Gilmour. Do you guys want to hear it?
Okay,
Always
sure.
could go for a Gil.
said-
You've worked with him, so you'll be able to tell. Duke.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me if it's like David Gilmour's in the room. He says this.
Duke, you can do anything you want with these.
That's exactly it.
Well,
That's exactly
it's
it.
like, is David Gilmour in Jeff's shitty RV?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, okay. You don't need to. You don't need to
knack
crap
for
all
that,
over.
man. You got a knack for that.
Thank
Sure.
you. Thank you. I work hard at it.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, I mean, you know,
anything you
obviously
want,
I'm a
I'll
Floyd
wear.
guy, and even though
Obviously.
only time and like a couple other tunes are in different time signatures, it's an exception. I mean, they certainly have Mellotron
Yeah.
on some of their stuff.
But you made the executive decision to add a steel drum to Money.
Like Us
Yeah.
Three's Cantaloupe. You
Well, I
heard
thought,
Us Three's
you know-
Cantaloupe, and you said, "Let's do that."
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, basically, like I thought it might be cool to add like it's in 7,
Right,
So
right.
this is one time I was like, I'll do something in 4/4. I got. Oh, man, I wish I remembered the guy's name. I had an incredible steel drum player come in and do polyrhythm across it to make it even more proggy and more like King Crimson.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I always heard Meshuggah heard those remixes and said, "Let's do that." Nothing
yeah.
but polyrhythms.
Oh, that's
left and
cool,
right.
man. They're so cool, man. I never got the chance to work with Meshuggah, and I always wondered what these labels were thinking.
Yeah.
You know what? That's like a perfect fit for me. You know, the prog. They do the time signatures like crazy,
Nonstop.
But I think it might have had something to do with budgetary reasons, because you know I can't work for less than. I'm not going to say my rate. I'm not going to say it.
Well,
'cause
we know
not
it's
cool.
up there. We know it's up there because
It's
your
up
budget
there.
for this record was huge.
Yeah.
I want to know the thinking behind this. Why did you take the vocals off of Breathe and add new vocals, a duet from Jimmy Buffett and Nelly Furtado?
You
It was a
know
bold
what?
choice.
I got
It was
It was a
bold.
bold choice. Well, basically, like, I'll be honest, that came down to label stuff. They were like, "Hey, if you're gonna," I brought up the idea of having John Wetton come on, and
okay.
the lead singer of a French prog band.
Christian Vander from Magma, of course.
Yeah, no, it was a lady. I'm forgetting her name. I feel
Stella
so bad.
Vander from Magma, of course.
There you go. There you go. Exactly. And that was my idea. But the label was like, we like the idea of new singers, but I think we're going to have to do somebody more well-known. Nelly Furtado was non-negotiable. That was they insisted.
I was like, if you're doing this,
she's on the up and up. We got to do Furtado. And I was
Yeah,
like,
you
you know
gotta
what?
have Furtados.
Okay.
You're going to the cafeteria, you're ordering a frittata. And the A&R was listening to Son of a 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 Sailor Man. And it was
Yeah.
just like, well, let's get this asshole in
And you
here.
know what? They were actually very nice. They're actually really nice people. They wouldn't be my first choices They wouldn't have been my first choices at the time, but you know they actually
God, no.
surprisingly prog savvy. They knew about Crimson, and that was cool. So we bonded over that.
Nelly
And-
Furtado has that Tarkus tattoo from ELP's Tarkus right on the lower part side of her back. It's beautiful.
Yeah, most people don't know about it.
Heard a rumor.
Yeah.
And when I knew you were coming on the show, I was scratching down some notes. They were burned in the fire in the explosion last night, but I'm going to try to remember it correctly. Something about 700 takes with Mark McGrath on his version of Run Like Hell. Was it really 700 takes?
700's a lot. That might be a slight exaggeration.
What was it? What are we like? What are
It
we
was
talking
definitely
here?
no more than 350. No more than 350.
That sounds right.
It took
took a while.
350 for McGrath.
He's just not.
You gotta get it.
Not every musician is cut out for every single thing. And Mark,
That is
you know,
true.
another really nice guy.
Hell of a guy.
Hell
at least to
of
me.
a Crimson fan.
Yeah, and he wanted to do. You know, we both bonded. We're Crim heads.
He's a big Discipline fan. He's into that lineup. He
Huge
loves
into Discipline.
Baloo.
Yeah.
3 of a Perfect Pair is all over Sugar Ray.
That
Yeah.
was so great for me when they came back, because I was in a bit of a funk when they were
When
broken
Sugar
up.
Ray came back?
No, I meant to say when Crimson came back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It was,
So,
I mean,
you
both
know,
are great for me. So
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't
No,
quite understand.
I was more excited about King Crimson. Obviously, you know, I almost got to work. You know, at the time, okay. You guys want to hear a cool story? You want to hear a cool story?
Fire traffic.
My God. Can you
God
put a
almighty,
pin in your
Art?
cool story?
Do we got to do that?
I want to
Art.
hear a cool story so bad. We're going to get to that. Art, we're going to fire it off right now.
Art,
Here we
it better
go.
be about traffic this goddamn time, too. Jesus Christ.
108.9 The Hawk traffic with Art Spart.
Wow. From the Burt's Funeral Flowers traffic desk, I'm Art Spart. And due to power issues in Geoff's stolen RV, I'm not able to play this mind-numbingly difficult video game anymore. You know, Geoff stole this RV. He says, fair and square. From legendary lyricist and amateur cryptozoologist Tim Rice. The man co-wrote Jesus Christ Superstar, for Christ's sake, Geoff. Give the man his RV back. He's earned it. Don't cry for me, Geoff the Angry Man. He also wrote Evita. That's why I said that there, too. You know, I'm sorry. You do not deserve this RV, Geoff. I can imagine with that sweet British man lived in here, it smelled like fucking lavender. Now it just smells like vegan chicken and waffles. Empty boxes of Bransom's vegan chicken and waffles everywhere. On top of sad, self-published Beatles books. I am in hell, people. All I want to do is give you the report about the highways and byways of our great city, but no! I can't see the traffic cams because somebody's internet is spotty. So I have no idea what's happening on Joey Ramone Turnpike. I can't tell you what a parking lot the Dro Strummer interchange is. And I have no idea about all the crashed Cousin Nick's Greek yogurt trucks on Jim Steinman Way. It's basically dial-up in here, Geoff. I've seen a chupacabra with better internet. Okay, Art, you're really kind of being mean, dude.
Yeah, dude, I didn't get personal with you. I loved every second of it. Keg stands.
Thank you, Keg Stand. I appreciate that. And guys, I apologize. Old Art Spart is just on the edge, since our radio home was reduced to cinders. You know, I had a tiny pic of my son Igor taped next to my traffic mic. And I forgot to get it before we ran for our lives, as if we were running from the anthem of himself, which I have twice. Just wish I could have grabbed it before.
Oh shit, this pic, Keg stand.
Oh my God, that's it, Keg Stand! My Igor!
I thought it was just Corey Haim or Joe Jonas or some shit. Can't let that burn. It's too funny.
I never thought I'd say this, but thank you, Keg Stand. Thank you! And now because of you, I can see again with my traffic eye. No need for the internet, I see it all. Lasagna Junction is backed up, people. Maybe try Saigon Kick Street. 422 looking better than usual at this time. Richie Sambora Lane is open all the way up to Upper Hog Street. And with traffic, I'm Art Spart from the Burt's Funeral Flowers traffic desk on 108.9 The Hawk.
With Burt's Funeral Flowers, with Burt's Funeral Flowers.
Oh, man, I wish we could get right into that story, Duke, but we'll come back to it. We'll come back to that. Right now, we do have to play a little rock. Zebot on the Hawk.
Hello, it's Pete Best, original Beatles drummer, and I'm hosting the new Beatles-centric radio program every Sunday morning at 9, right here on 108.9 The Hawk. We'll talk John, we'll talk George, and then we'll talk about my plans to kill the two remaining Beatles, that wanker Paul and that double wanker Ringo. I have on great guests who'll analyze my plans to kill the two remaining Beatles and tell me if it's gonna work out slow or fast. We'll also talk about Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, because oddly enough, I love that bloody record. So join me every Sunday as we journey through the Fab Four and plan the demise of the less than Fab Two until finally old Pete Best is the last Beatle standing. And I'll probably play Lovely Rita at least twice, because I'm pretty sure it was about me mum. See you every Sunday on 108.9 The Hawk.
What happens when 2 stewardesses and 2 college freshmen and an 80s yuppie stockbroker and a ninja and an alien and a suburban family of 5 and a redneck truck driver who's driving along a big rig full of dildos has to go on a cross-country race all so they can win a case of beer? Hilarity! And a lot of problematic jokes that you didn't remember happened, and even at the time were a little sketchy, in a movie that they definitely couldn't make now, and they really shouldn't. Tim Matheson, Tim Thomerson, Judy Landers, and Jackie Chan in National Lampoon Presents Speed Trap on the Channel 8 Ha Ha Hole every Wednesday night. Channel 8, your home for great shit.
108.9 The Hawk.
We can barely get through the end of Renegade by Styx, Tharp.
The hell
Fix
is a
it.
classic rock station if you can't get through the end of Renegade by Styx?
Jesus Christ. It's, Styx.
Everyone's
Renegade.
on edge in here, by the
I'm
way.
so on edge.
I feel
I am
on edge
so-
because you're in my personal space. You seem on edge because you're just trying to keep the wheels on this cart that's run down the hill. Art's over there deflecting because, honestly, I think the whole thing is he's still pissed off about that Tears of Heaven fucking game. And then all of a sudden he blames it on his kid being burned. His picture
Is
of
it
his
called Tears in Heaven?
kid. I believe he would. That's the problem. I think he's been playing the Eric Clapton
He's been
Zelda
playing
game.
Legend
Yes.
of Zelda,
Tears in Heaven.
Tears in Heaven.
Yes. It's just straight 12-bar blues. Just all the time you got to just
And
wander
that's the
around with
one I
no
wanna
shirt.
play. That's the
Yeah.
one I want to play.
Also keeps telling you some weird anti-vax shit, which is kind of
Yeah, a lot of anti-vax stuff. And, just
Good,
covers
good.
of other people's better songs.
You did do a great job of the engineering on that, though, Duke.
You
I gotta
did.
say.
You did
It
a
sounded
really
great.
good job.
On
Chris
Zelda's
Duke.
Tears in Heaven, it sounds wonderful.
Zelda's
Oh,
Tears
yeah.
in Heaven, it sounds very... You know what? I'm going to say it. It sounds like Eric Clapton joined King Crimson.
Oh, wow. That is a
Mission
compliment.
accomplished.
I appreciate
Mission
that.
accomplished, right?
Wow.
Wow.
It's always great to just be, appreciated. Not
Yeah.
everybody gets it. You know who didn't get it? Do we have time now, or should I wait?
We do have to send the signal down to Greg Lemonsour and Big Truck. They're at the grand opening of the Rock Dreams Dad Camp. Greg, Truck, what's going on down there?
Hey, are we good? Are we all right? Yeah, we're doing great
We're doing
here.
okay. We live, we thrive, we survive. That's basically what happens here, you know.
Against better judgment, we are
Against all
alive
odds,
and
I'd
well.
say.
Against all odds, one of the
against-
greatest films to ever have a Jeff Bridges accompanied by Phil Collins singing
Oh,
a
yeah.
song that could bring
Man.
you to tears.
Man, that movie came out. I had a VHS. I had a beta of it in my little truck. And well, it wasn't a little truck; it was a big truck.
It was a big
too.
old truck for you.
And I had that Against All Odds, Phil Collins just cranking as I went down the road on trucker speed, man. And
And I
was
gotta
just,
say, that's a perfect segue because
Oh,
that's
man.
also Against All Odds is a perfect dad movie. And we are here down at
Man.
the grand opening of the Rock Dreams Dad Camp. This is,
Are
of
you-
course, where all of the fathers of Valverde can
Yep.
come and achieve their rock and roll dreams, like playing a cover of Venus by Television.
Oh, no, I don't think they ain't going to be playing any of those songs. They're going to
Are
be
you
doing
kidding me? Are
I'm
we
sorry
not
there,
good
man.
here?
Truck loves you, toot toot. But looking at the song list here, you're going to learn a very simplified version of Welcome to the Jungle. You're going to be playing Louie Louie.
Oh
You're
man,
gonna be
I see here on the list
playing,
you're going to be playing Smoke on the Water, but where you
Smoke
play
on
the
the
John
Water.
Lord organ part on power chords on guitar.
Yep, so if you are a dad with a dream and that dream is rock and roll, you come on down here to Rock Dreams Dad Camp, 4888869. Nice.
And again,
Hog
do
Street.
not worry about having any musical proficiency.
Oh, man, you don't have to play nothing.
You do not
play
need to be a
nothing.
Tom Verlaine
Oh,
on guitar. You are going to be playing the dumbest versions
You are
of
gonna
all
be
classic
playing
rock songs.
Dumbed down stuff. You're going to be playing stuff so dumbed down you'd think you're on a Chris Duke-Angeli record. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Oh, yeah,
That man's
yep.
production can suck it. All
Yeah,
right.
it can. What a piece of shit. Hey, back to you in the studio.
Wow.
That was
awkward.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm used to it, man. I'm used to
Okay.
it.
You can't hold it against Greg Lemonsour because
Yeah, you
he's a
can't.
man who appreciates the first Ramones record, and he's got to get out of there.
Well, I did record it, so I mean, in a way, he
In a way,
he
you
likes my work.
basically like
Yeah.
your work.
Did I remove my name? Of course.
Of course.
Okay.
Wasn't up to the
Okay.
Crimson standard, but
It wasn't up to.
But
okay.
not everyone. You'd be surprised who's not willing to go there, man. You'd be surprised. Quincy
Really?
Jones wasn't willing to take it there.
Mr. Quincy
I got to work with
Jones.
Quincy Jones, and I was really I was excited because Quincy is obviously a legend.
Legend.
He calls me up. I flew out to L.A. and we started tracking Thriller. And man, talk about a missed opportunity on that record, man. I patch in the Mellotron. Phil Gaines comes in and the Mellotron's all ready to go. And they're like, hey, man, what's this? And I said, oh, it's the Mellotron. What else? He's like, nah, man, we got like 10 new synths that we're going to try. They're brand new and they sound really cool and we're going to use those. And I was like, why would you do that when you got a perfectly good Mellotron? Or at least
Did the Mellotron break, though, right away?
Well, the Mellotron did break pretty quick.
Of course, yes.
And then Quincy was
but
like...
if it worked, it would have been better than any other synth
it would have been
sound.
better than any of that stuff. Would have been better than any of that stuff.
Look, I'm just going to say, you get a Fairlight in there and you get that versus a broken Mellotron, I'm picking a broken Mellotron every single day. One take, it may be out of that Mellotron. That one take's going to be great before the tapes break on it, of course.
Yeah,
So,
that was the
please.
first...
When they
man.
come back to us here, when they send the signal back down here, I'm going to go off on that Chris Duke-Angeli.
I've been going off ever since we got there. It's weird though, Chuck. Why are you switching mics on me? I'm the one still talking into the same mic here. What's going on here?
Well, they gave me a better mic for this next break.
Have you been working with the Duke here? Did the Duke give you suggestions to change your microphone?
He did. He said, if you're going to shit on me, you want to shit on me using a Neumann.
Wow. I've got to say, I have to appreciate that. I've got to appreciate that if you're going to be shit upon by the best.
Guys, we can hear your feed. You are live. You're on the air.
You know what? It's okay, man. But you know what?
So
that reminds me...
You're saying that Chris Duke-Angeli can hear us?
I can hear you guys. Yeah.
Loud and clear.
Well, there he is, man, the Duke himself. Hey, Jason. Hey, Geoff. Has he worn you out with some fucking stories or what?
Oh, if there's one thing I know about the Duke is that he will tell you some stories. His autobiography is the only autobiography I had to skip. It was longer than all 6 volumes of Karl Alf Knausgaard's My Struggle.
It's like, what, am I reading the Encyclopedia Britannica again? No, I'm just reading the Chris Duke-Angeli story, and what a load of hogwash, if you know what I mean, toot.
That is, of course, the name of his autobiography, What a Load of Hogwash.
What a load of hogwash, toot.
Yeah, I mean, he's been telling some stories here. I mean,
What a fucking idiot.
Do you have a mute button for their channel, Thor?
Whose store?
I'm sorry. That's the worst. I forget. I hate when I forget.
God.
You know who forgot my name? Quincy. He got my name wrong too. And
you probably
I'm
told
sorry.
him about it. Like
It's I know it's
70
got
hours
it's,
straight.
it's,
Like, my name is Chris Duke-Angeli.
if there's one thing I know about Quincy Jones is that he is meticulous about remembering every single person's name that has ever worked with him. So that
This
I
is
would
great,
say
guys.
is a slight
This is very
towards
good.
him.
Thank you. This is very good. You have pissed Tharp off. Nothing is working now. Nothing is working in the station. And you know what? Yeah, the boys are back in town somehow.
Are we? I don't know.
Sorry,
I don't fucking know.
Sorry, Thor.
We'll see you next time on Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. Get out of my house.
Oh, Chris, I'm sorry we didn't have time for that story.
it's okay.
Darn.
Whatever.
Okay, hey, we're coming back. Skeet, we'll be on you next hour. I don't think, and this is the interview portion of 108.9 The Hawk,
Yes,
I don't
it is.
think Truck has ever been that mean. I think that the whole studio exploding has truly made everyone their worst selves.
Everyone's on edge.
Because
now.
Whisp did this.
Yeah.
They are their worst selves.
So we have to apologize for all of the characters of 108.9 The Hawk.
What happens from here, no one knows, but that's
don't
why you
know.
listen to 108.9 The Hawk, because we don't even know. Well, we kind of know what's going to happen, but we got a vague idea. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Gleason. How are you, Andrew?
Oh, I'm great, guys. This was really fun.
Thank you for being here.
Really a
Thank
huge
you.
fan of the show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, this is awesome.
And you guys know Andrew, and I know and love Andrew from his work on The Best Show with Tom Sharpling.
Indeed.
I've gotten to know you over the past year, and as a co-executive producer of The Best Show.
Yes.
I can say
CEP, baby.
this. Co-EP. The show has never sounded this good.
Oh, well,
as
thanks.
it has under.
You've been picking the right mics.
You've been
picking the right mics.
You've been picking the right mics. You're in
Which
there like, guys, we need
coincidentally
a
are
ribbon.
all the same mic you have,
Right.
and they're all exactly the same.
Except for when we do when we have a band in, you'll
have
be
a
like,
band.
I'm going to bring this universal audio mic that I have,
Yeah,
and I'm
this-
going to use
this
that
one.
for that's that one.
That's the
And-
overhead nowadays.
Yeah, and you're like,
Yeah.
we're going to use that, and
That's the only time. Otherwise, it's all RE20s or RE320s.
RE20s.
It's like the same thing.
Yeah,
It's funny
for all
how
you mic nerds out there, we're pretty big into the RE20s.
It's the best part is that like you can get great results with like super cheap mics if you know what you're doing.
Wait. Are we talking to Chris
Oh my God, we're
Duke-Angeli
back in,
here
we're
or
back
Andrew
in.
Gleason? You're going to start talking
Chris-
about Crimson Red.
Chris would insist on Neumann's all across the board.
I just love the idea of Chris just basically annoying Paul Simon to the point where he's like, I'm done.
I'm
fucking
out of
done.
music. This is what took me.
This is a question that we ask to every guest here on 108.9 The Hawk. So now you are in the Hawk seat.
Yes.
The question is, what is your relation to classic rock?
It was kind of the first love, you know. I mean, the Beatles were actually my first favorite band.
Okay.
Because I was like an 8-9-year-old kid, and like I'd heard some songs, and I was like wanted to play guitar. I actually wanted to play guitar more than I even really liked music. It was kind of bizarre. I just thought guitars were cool, and was like, oh, I should take guitar lessons because that's cool. And then I showed up on like my first day of lessons, and the teacher was like, so what do you like? What is your... And I realized that I didn't really know anything about music. So I was just like, oh, the Beatles, because I had heard of the Beatles. And
Right.
like next thing I know, I was like obsessed. Listen, like the first 50 songs I learned were all Beatles songs.
What
And
was
then
the first one that they taught you? Was it like
Oh,
Day
it was
Tripper?
Yellow
'Cause
Submarine
that's always
because
like
it's
Yellow
just,
Submarine.
Yellow Submarine is just the easiest one to learn.
Yeah.
It's so simple. So it was like that just made the most sense because it's like that's the easiest one by far.
Yeah.
And then you'd
No,
work
that's a
your
good
way
one.
up to Day Tripper, and then you get into like more complicated stuff. And then from there it was like, you know, Stones next, Hendrix after that,
Yeah.
which is when the guitar playing thing became a kind of like I got real nerdy about it and went into
Yeah.
the Zeppelin and then from there metal extremely got pretty heavy for like 2 or 3 years.
And when you say heavy in metal, what do you mean? Because
Okay,
Geoff,
so it went
Geoff
from, like,
just sat up.
It went from Sabbath.
Now we're talking turkey.
It went from like radio stuff like Sabbath, and then I went into like a little bit for a brief time. I was obsessed with Metallica and Slayer.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then I went into full on like death metal for like a year, and then I went from there to prog. And from prog, I sort of worked my way back to reality in terms of like melodic music, which ultimately
Yeah.
I realized I'm like a melody and like harmony kind of guy, rhythm, groove types, like just musical.
Well, you should check out the new Dying Fetus song that came out yesterday because it's
I had
pretty
a-
good.
I ripped a Dying Fetus burnt CDR.
They're a
at
great
one
band.
point. Didn't connect with me. Didn't connect with me.
Okay.
It's more of
Killing
an
on
Opeth.
adrenaline, man.
More of an Opeth guy.
I love Opeth. Oh, so Opeth is the gate. I mean, that'll come up
That
probably
was the
on some
gateway to
prog
Prague.
episode.
That was the
That's
literal gateway to Prague for
Because
me.
Michael Ackerfeld will list off bands that influence them. So all of a sudden
Here
you're
we
like,
go.
oh, I'm
Exactly.
going to buy
That is
Colmus,
exactly what
Cressida. Oh, Blackwater Park is a 70s proto metal band from Germany. I'll find their record.
I've always wanted to check out that band
It's
because
good.
I found
It's
that
not
out
bad.
recently. That album, that title is a.
Oh, he's
is a
wearing an
band.
Ashra Temple shirt. Oh, now I love Ashra Temple, and all of the Cosmic stuff is
Camel.
going to change my life.
It was like Camel.
Camel is Jason has
Geoff
listened to
keeps
me talk
talking
about
Camel, man.
and I think you could agree. Jason will like Camel when he hears them because they're like
Yeah.
soft rock prog.
Is Camel the band that did their own language?
No, that's Magma that I was talking
That's
about, and I have a
Magma,
Magma
okay.
tattoo.
Yeah,
Um,
that is the band. That
Yes.
actually is the band I was thinking of. Because they have a
Magma.
song
Yes.
that like I think they have a song that got sampled by like MF Doom.
Oh, that would make sense.
And it's like the coolest, weirdest thing ever. Madlib produced it, but yeah, from there. So the classic rock thing's always been there. And then it's like, as I came back to like more melodic stuff, I got real deep into Neil and Crazy Horse.
Yeah.
The band, you know, then like more like, I mean, everything, man. Eventually it was like everything.
Well,
Yeah.
Andrew, thank you so much for being here with us. You have a
yeah.
new album out. Do you want to plug that and
Yeah,
tell people where they
my
can
new,
get it?
my band Sleuth Dogs put out an album,
And it's a great record, guys.
Yeah, it's called
so good.
Insane Things. It's on pretty much anywhere you stream music. It's on Bandcamp. If you felt compelled to buy it or download it officially, and you felt like going to Bandcamp, that would help us out a lot. You know, it was awesome. Tom premiered one of the songs on the Best Show, and that was
great.
like the coolest thing ever. That was almost cooler than even working on the show, because it was just like, like I'm alongside, like, because Tom doesn't play anything bad.
Best Show
on
bump.
the show. You know what I mean?
No.
Like it's you're in good company if you're getting played on the Best Show. So.
Completely. Well, Andrew, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you guys so much. This was it was awesome to do this. Like,
it was so much fun. We've been talking about doing this for a very long time, and I'm glad we were finally able to do it. And we got to have Chris Duke-Angeli back on, maybe sometime soon. Get more rock stories
the thriller, story. I mean, look,
I hope we never hear his thriller story. I hope he keeps attempting it, and it goes right back into something else.
It might be funnier to not even tell it.
You just want to know what it is, but it's funnier if you don't know what it is. If you want to support 108.9 The Hawk, you can go to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/1089 The Hawk all together. And you get these episodes 1 week early. You get episodes of Hawk Rock Talk before they're ever on any normal Hawk feed. You get classic albums Hawk Rock Talk, where the next one we do actually may be recorded by the time this one comes out. We're doing Bad Out of Hell, the Todd Rundgren produced Meatloaf record. You got to say Meatloaf Jim Steinman record.
Yes.
Like they are both just
give
equals
the credit
in
where
that
credit
album.
is due.
Yes. I mean, and the first episode of Art Spart Monster Hunter is coming out. I have been writing it.
We all
it's on its
here at
way,
the Hawk
guys.
Studios.
Trust me.
We can't wait for it to show up.
You know what? I'm going to give you a spoiler. If it's not out when this episode is out, here's a spoiler. The first episode of Art Spart Monster Hunter is called The Valverde Dreamworm, and you're going to learn all about that.
You're hearing it first. Even the co-host is hearing it first. He's been hearing about it
has
for
never
a
even
while.
heard of the Valverde Dreamworm.
But
and you're going to hear that only on 108.9 The Hawk, the Patreon, and a lot of great stuff there. But overall, your support on the Patreon helps us to do this show. This show right here that you get every week.
It warms our black hearts every time we see a new Patreon member join.
Oh, my God.
And start interacting. That also, again, we're also going to be doing viewer mailbag episodes. Only for Patreon. Talk
you
to the
only
Hawk.
get that on Patreon.
You join that Patreon, you throw us questions, we will answer them.
In character. If you wanted to ask Whisp a character, you can ask Whisp a character, and that you can only do that if you're part of the Patreon.
And we appreciate all of that appreciation when you sign. You know what we also appreciate? Giving us them 5-star reviews. You got to go to all your podcast networks, wherever you're listening to things, definitely Stitcher. And then you got to give that 5-star review. And if you're giving anything less than 5 stars, reevaluate your entire life.
Don't even give anything.
Don't give nothing. And you got to put in there, explain to us what song got ruined by classic rock. Let us know if it's Grand Funk Railroad. And just say, I like this, Geoff.
Perfect. And from this point on, who knows what happens on 108.9 The Hawk? Do they get a new studio? Where's Whisp? Is Whisp going to attack again? Where is Whisp is a big question.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
That's what we got here. See? I mean, only Owatu the Watcher really knows what is happening. Because we only kind
of
do.
Own watcher. Yes.
We got to go talk to our watcher and let him. He's going to tell us where the story goes.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time on 108.9 The Hawk.
108.9 The Hawk was created, written, and performed by Jason Gore and Geoff Garlock. For all episodes of 108.9 The Hawk, please search for 108.9 The Hawk on any podcast provider or visit 1089thehawk.com. To support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/1089 The Hawk, the world's greatest comedy podcast about classic rock radio. 108.9 The Hawk.